Stay with me until the very end, especially if you've ever felt the sting of betrayal, because this story doesn't just hurt, it cuts straight through. I never knew silence could roar so loudly until the moment I shut that door. Not just a door to a house, but to an entire life. 7 years vanished in a single, steady breath. And the strange thing? I wasn't angry. I wasn't even broken the way people expect. I was calm, eerily calm, like my soul had finally stopped screaming. We first crossed paths in college. Sarah was sharp, intuitive, always a few steps ahead. She studied psychology, fascinated by what drove people's minds. I admired her. She had a way of making you feel seen, like her attention wrapped around you completely. What began as late-night talks turned into shared dreams, which slowly grew into a life together. After graduation, we moved in. Engagement followed, then a quiet wedding filled with music and smiles. 5 years of building something that, from the outside, looked unshakable. She started her private practice, thriving. I worked marketing for a tech firm. Our lives were comfortable, predictable. Morning coffee, grocery runs on Saturdays, shows before bed. We talked about a house, a garden, maybe children one day. I never doubted her. Never thought I should. Until things began to shift. Subtly at first, late nights for new clients. Then weekend seminars, phone calls through dinner, texts she'd tilt her screen away to answer. I told myself it was ambition, growth, that success required sacrifices, that her energy, even if different, was still real. But then one Thursday, she left her phone outside the shower. It buzzed twice, a name I didn't recognize, and a message that shattered the floor beneath me. Can't wait to see you this weekend. Room 314. Same as always. I stared at those words until time blurred. Room 314. Same as always. How many times had that room existed without me knowing? How many weekends disguised as conferences were lies? But I didn't confront her. No fights. No shouting. Just silence, the kind that sharpens into resolve. I began removing myself piece by piece. Like a man preparing for exile, I found an apartment across town, opened a new bank account, bought a mattress, a chair, a coffee maker. Told no one. I wasn't running. I was erasing. The hardest part wasn't her betrayal. It was realizing how long I'd been living in a version of life that wasn't real. How many kisses were disguised goodbyes. How many I love yous were just placeholders. On a Tuesday morning, while she was at the gym, I packed the last of my things. I set the keys on the counter, placed my wedding ring beside them, and left a note. I know about the conferences. I know about room 314. Don't contact me. Then I closed the door. No slamming, just a soft click. The kind that marks an ending. The apartment I moved into was bare, silent, perfect for rebuilding. I blocked her number, deleted our photos. It wasn't escape. It was purification. No mutual friends called. No drama. It was as if I had evaporated from her world. Maybe I had never been fully in it. I spent months rediscovering myself. Running again, reading books I had neglected, cooking for myself. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like half of a pear. I felt whole. 18 months later, I saw her again. The sky was heavy with clouds as I left work and headed to my car. And there she was, leaning against a parking meter, like a ghost that had taken form. She looked older. Not in years, but in spirit, like regret had done more damage than time ever could. Her voice was barely a whisper. I need to talk to you. I froze. Didn't move closer. Just answered quietly but firm. There's nothing left to talk about. Her voice cracked. It's over with him. It's been over for months. I made a terrible mistake. I need you to know that. I looked at her, the woman I once imagined holding hands with at 80, and I felt nothing, only a deep, faraway sadness. You didn't make a mistake, Sarah, I said. You made choices again and again, and now you're living with them. Tears welled, quiet and restrained, like guilt clawing its way out. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, she whispered, but I still love you. I shook my head slowly. You loved comfort. You loved being loved. But if you truly loved me, you wouldn't have needed someone else to prove it. I opened my car door. She reached out faintly, as if to stop me. I paused long enough to say the words I had rehearsed in my mind countless times. I hope you find peace. But I already have. I drove away, watching her fade smaller in the rearview mirror. A chapter closing in real time. And for the first time since leaving, I felt free. because closure doesn't always come with apologies or answers.